Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rosa, a.k.a. Mazuma TV. Back at y'all with some more boxing talk, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive day. I hope you had a great night overall, man. I'm back at y'all with some more boxing talk. We're going to talk about Terence Crawford 24 hours after his brilliant, spectacular, genius performance against Canelo Alvarez, man. We're going to talk about that. We definitely going to talk about the shots that Gervonta Davis threw at Terence Crawford. And then, of course, we're going to get into some open boxing topics. You feel what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that's in the building thus far. If y'all could go ahead and hit the like button, that'll be very much appreciated. You see what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that's in the building thus far, man. I already see the comments in the building. Shout out to the stranger with the first comment of the day. Yeah, we definitely going to talk about that stranger. Big Soldier MX, what up? He said Boost up next. According to Terence, he ain't. He said nope. So, yeah, we definitely going to have that conversation. Forever Dedicated, what up? Simba Boxing, what up? Calm Minded. Smoochie. Coffee Plant is in the building. I think his name is, I don't know how to say that. But we going to, CEO Abel? I don't know if I said that right. Marissa Alvarez, what up? Chris Maldonado. Richard Todd in the building. He said the Godfather Mazuma. What's going on, brother? Pagat Petit. Smoochie said, when am I getting a soundboard? I do have one. I just don't be using it. I actually do have a soundboard. I got one right here. Let me see if I can get that together for you. Where you? I don't even know where people typically get their soundboards from. This is just like some random website. Let me see. Yeah, I got my soundboard right here. Let me see. Shit. That's my soundboard. Anyways. But yeah, man. What's going on? Definitely got the soundboard, though.
Shut up, bitch!
Yeah, this shit would make things funnier for sure. Oh, man. What up? So we definitely going to talk about it. Pagat Petit, what up? He said Tank can't even lace Bud's shoes. We going to talk about it. As a matter of fact, I think I want to talk about the Gervonta Davis situation first. You think you going to buy them boots tickets? Let me know, Smoochie. You going to buy me one? Shit, let me know. I'll go. Shit, if you buying two, I'll come through. Let me know. But, we definitely got some things to talk about, man. First of all, shout out to Claymore Rand. I went up on his live earlier today, and we was chopping it up. You feel what I mean? Just talking about what's currently going on in boxing and all that good stuff. And I'm going to definitely open up the platform, you know what I mean, for people to come through and talk. You feel what I'm saying? But let's get into this Gervonta Davis situation because obviously we done spoke. I done did 2 lives already speaking on Terence Crawford's fight with Canelo Alvarez, man. A lot of people had a lot of doubts about Terence Crawford, you know, including myself. You know, looking back, I'm absolutely ashamed to have doubted that man. You feel what I mean? I was rooting for him, but I did have my concerns. I did have my worries, but he cleared no worries up for me right away, man. Looked absolutely spectacular. You know, Bud and Bowman confirmed that they trained for 6 months. 6 months they trained for that fight, man. 6 months they trained for that fight. So they was absolutely locked in, man. A lot of people interpreted his inactivity for, you know, him just being on the couch. No, he had 6 months of work ahead of him, 6 months of prepping for one person. So, you know, it made all the sense in the world for this man, Terence Crawford, to be as sharp as he was. And pretty much how, man, he had Canelo read like a fucking book. Chris Maldonado, Boo's next fight is in Philly. I don't know if you're talking about like the following one or whatever the case is, but in October, I think it's October 11th. It's at the Wells Fargo or the Xfinity Mobile Arena, whatever they decided to call it now. You know what I mean? They keep switching the names up. It's kind of confusing, to be honest. But at the Wells Fargo. That's what we call it here in Philly. You feel me? But Bud had Canelo read like a book, ladies and gentlemen. It was absolutely insane. I'm like, bro, he sees everything that Canelo's doing. You know what I mean? He's catching all these shots. He knows exactly what counters to throw. Instincts was on 1,000. Defense was on 1,000. Ring generalship was on 1,000. It was like Bud could do absolutely no wrong, man. And Canelo knew that. Canelo couldn't use the excuse like, oh, man, he was running. Oh, man. No, he couldn't say that at all because there was even times where Bud stood in the pocket with Canelo was getting the better of them exchanges as well. So it was like, yo, like, what the hell? What could you really say? It was just a masterclass performance. You know what I mean? And there's nothing really negative I could really say about Bud's performance because he pretty much answered all my questions. One of the main concerns I had, how is his feet going to be with that additional weight on it? Was he going to feel sluggish? Absolutely not. That man did 12 rounds, and it looked fatigued at one point throughout the fight whatsoever. I was worried about his punch resistance. He got hit to the body. He got hit to the head a few times from Canelo. Nothing too devastating, nothing too clean, but he still got hit and took the shots well. I was concerned with how his punching power would be. You know what I mean? He had some respectable punching power because he definitely had Canelo second guessing before he threw shots. You know what I mean? Throughout the course of the fight. You know, I had my concerns about his conditioning, his overall conditioning. Spectacular shape. Spectacular shape. You know what I mean? Oh, Pagat Petit, he says Ellie setback told Canelo he won. Canelo was like, nah, I didn't. See, that's how you know you got a world-class hater in front of you. When you're so open with being delusional that the motherfuckers that you trying to cape for even telling you that you tripping. Like, that's disgusting work. Like, it takes a different type of bitterness. It takes a different type of hatred. I ain't gonna lie. This shit's kind of giving racism at this point. For you to have a strong dislike towards this man so much to the point where, you know what I mean, you willing to cape for people that's not caping for themselves, absolutely insane. If Canelo's sitting here and tell you he lost, why do you continue caping for that man? Why do you keep trying to defend him? Why are you trying to, like, make it seem like it's okay? And, you know, Bud could have stopped him that night. Bud could have stopped him last night. And, you know, Ellie Sekbeck would have had an excuse as to why that happened. Oh, well, Canelo's old. Oh, Bud, Bud got a lucky shot. He would literally say anything. And it's embarrassing at this point. Like, if you really keep, you know, Robert Garcia and them, I got a lot of respect for the Garcias, but it's like, y'all continuously bring this dude around when he's pushing these types of narratives and stuff, bro. That make y'all look bad. Why y'all dealing with this weirdo? If someone just tells me that they don't like Ellie, but they just bring him around for like promotional purposes or publicity, I don't know, man. But it's absolutely. Can you imagine that you dick eating so hard, you dick riding a man so hard that they telling you that you dick eating for being on wood that heavy? Like, that's crazy. Canelo like, nah, that's not the case at all. Now you sitting here looking stupid because you going against your logic. Very non-masculine like of you. Very, very feminine. It's giving bitter baby mom characteristics, to be honest with you. But I mean, that's Ellie Sekbeck for you. And that's a lot of these media outlets. And they wonder why they began kicked out of media scrums and all type. No wonder why Tyson Fury kicked you out, because you're a world-class hater. You're a world-class hater. But anyways, speaking of people that Ellie Sekbeck dick rides, man, I seen what Gervonta Davis had to say while Terence Crawford was doing some legendary shit. You know what I mean? Fighting the best opposition possible, doing legendary feats in his career. You know what I mean? Doing things that he'll forever go in the history books for. Gervonta Davis had a problem with it. You know, when he's about to fight, he's about to be on the B side of a social media boxer's fight. You know, it's not even a legit fight from what I understand. It's an exhibition. Gervonta Davis reacts to this whole situation. Now, let me go ahead and share the screen. Let me go ahead and share the screen. Let you guys know how Gervonta Davis felt with this whole situation. Now, this is typical Gervonta Davis. You feel what I mean? Coming out, you know what I mean, being emotional and then deleting his tweets after the fact. You feel me? Just like some typical, like when a baby mom talk crazy about their nigga online and they nigga hit him up like, nah, chill, baby, ain't even all like that. It ain't. Nah, it ain't, baby. Why don't you just come on home? Okay, let me take this down. You know, I'm sorry for being so emotional. I'm so sorry for being emotional. I just don't be knowing how to feel sometimes. That's the type energy that Gervonta Davis be putting out here. Just pure faggotry. But anyways, let's go ahead and see what Gervonta Davis had to say while Terence Crawford was doing legacy defining shit and fighting the best. You feel me? The dick riding is crazy. The dick riding is crazy. The dick riding is crazy. This is what Gervonta Davis is saying in the middle of the fights going on. Man, the dick riding is crazy, man. Why y'all don't dick ride me? Why don't these niggas dick ride me? You know I love when niggas do that to me. You see how I be carrying these purses. You see how like I be begging for a nigga attention, but them niggas don't be paying me no money. Y'all want to ride Bud? Y'all riding that nigga Bud? Why don't y'all ride me? Cause that's what I'm looking for. That's the type of time Gervonta Davis on. He hating on another motherfucker getting they shine because they doing something that you refuse to do. He said I'll swing on him for real. First of all, I don't know where this motherfucker, bro. Listen. I done said this time and time again, bro. I don't believe none of this gangster shit that Tank be talking about. This motherfucker, I don't believe none of the tough shit that Gervonta Davis be talking about, bro. This little nigga he like one of these motherfuckers who was like a regular nigga on the block. He got tatted from head to toe, and all of a sudden he a 5-star gangster. You know what I mean? Like he one of those. You feel what I mean? Like this motherfucker want to give you the impression that he this street nigga. He a certified street nigga. Tank, you's a little nigga who punch hard, and you feeling yourself. You feel what I'm saying? The only nigga that I believe that you would swing on some real life shit is your baby mom. Let's just keep it 1,000. That's the only, or any female that you involved with, because you got a history of being tied up in these, domestic violence laws. And I done been lied on. You feel what I mean? But this is habitual with you. I had a one and done. That shit got tossed to the side type situation. You habitually get in these abusive relationships, and I'm starting to think that it's because of you. And I don't know if it's something that happened with you when you were younger and you got abused or some bullshit like that, and all of a sudden you out here looking up the niggas during interviews with one foot on top of the other, and wearing fur coats with green purses and shit. I don't know what happened to you when you was a young boy that got you so emotional and messed up, admitting that you need therapy and all that. But we don't believe this tough guy act, but Tank. At least I don't. I don't know if y'all do, but I don't. If Gervonta Davis had these tendencies and he was this type of person, that we would have been seen it happen by now. You want to know how I know? Let me go ahead and just share this real quick. Because I want to take y'all down a stroll down memory lane. You feel what I'm saying? This was 7 years ago. Gervonta Davis out and about with his PBC brothers. Y'all remember that when they was all drunk and all that bullshit? Now, when you drunk, that means you ain't got no filter, so you more likely to act in a situation in comparison to being sober when your conscience is available. Now, let's check this out right here.
What's up? We're gonna make it happen. 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 I'm trying to. You said get a belt. I got a belt. I got this rap. ASAP. After the 20th. Don't touch me. After the 20th, let's go. After the 20th, let's go. After the 20th. Listen, let's make it happen.
What you want to do? What you want to do? When you want to fight? What you want to do? When you want to fight? What you want to do? When you want to fight? Motherfuckers pressing you face to face, and you ain't even have a fucking thought in swinging on this nigga, but you gonna swing on Terence Crawford, if that's who you even referring to. So you'll swing on Terence Crawford, but you won't swing on niggas who pull up on you personally, ask what's up when you try and rumble. And that's not the only time. There was the other situation where he was like, "Don't touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me." Yo, Tevin Farmer. This motherfucker from Philly done pulled up on Tank multiple times and asked, "Yo, when you trying to rumble?" And I ain't seen no motherfucking Bobby, Broad Day, activities where you just punching niggas and bro, like we don't believe none of that. Like we see David Haye do it with Chisora. We see Terence Crawford try to swing on Jose Benavidez at the weigh-ins. Like we seen fighters do it, but you just don't happen to be one of them. You not like that. So I'm trying to understand where he get these tough nigga tendencies from. I remember him talking to Lamont Rose talking about pulling up to kids' schools and talking about where people mom live and all this wild shit. It's like, bro, you go way past boxing. You go way past boxing, and every time you send a threat, it's always some empty shit. It's always some, if it was beef, niggas be outside niggas' houses. Like, Tank, you not outside nobody's house, bro. You not. You got real life fear in your heart. We could tell how the way you move in boxing. I can only imagine how you move outside of boxing. If you was scared, like if you this big tough nigga, you would have been for somebody by now. Even if you felt like you was gonna lose, your pride wouldn't have let you, duck them fades. It wouldn't have allowed you to duck that fade with Lamont Roach in the rematch. So you this big tough street nigga outside of the ring, but in the, when it's time to get in the ring, you real selective with who you get in there with, and your worst fear is losing. Like you admitted in front of the people that you a scary nigga. Man, my worst fear is losing. I just don't want to be embarrassed. That's the fucking mentality of a scary ass nigga who don't believe in himself. And you want us to believe that you act like that with boxing, but you don't act like that outside of boxing. Fuck out of here. Every time I see you, you running your mouth. You ain't never putting no hands on nobody. You wait until you get in that closed circle, that enclosed space for you to start bombing on niggas. You not doing nothing outside of the ring, brother. And I'm gonna let you know right now, you might have grew up in the hood, but you not a hood nigga. You not. You grew up in the gym. Coach Calvin saved you. Stop trying to act like something you not because you got some face tats, nigga. The fuck? Bro, I know niggas that I grew up with, they was straight pussy, bro. Straight pussy. And I was never a street nigga, but I used to be out and about. You know what I mean? I used to be in the hood and I you know what I mean, was never really, I was never active on no crazy shit, but I used to be around street niggas. You know what I mean? Some of these niggas not even no longer with us, but I remember being around people who was certified pussy, and we knew that they was pussy. These niggas move away, come back with a shit ton of tattoos, and all of a sudden, they popping greasy. I'm like, nigga, I remember you. You was a bitch. That's the shit that Gervonta Davis give me. Now, I'm not saying that, you know what I mean, Tank ain't that, bro. He can fight. He's very talented. He's a hell of a fighter. But it just be throwing me off when he treat boxing like this. Like, oh, man, I ain't like everybody else. I'm trying to get my money and get out. I don't care about titles. I don't care about fighting the best. I don't care about being a legend as long as I'm a legend in Baltimore. Bro, niggas in Baltimore be clowning you, bro. I know that. I train niggas that's from Baltimore, and they all look at you like you a fucking goofy because you scared to step up. They were like, I don't know what be wrong with dude. I don't know what be wrong with dude. Like they be really clowning you every chance that they get. And you talking about as long as I'm a legend for Baltimore. No, you was a nigga who made it out of Baltimore. That don't necessarily make you a legend. You haven't done any legendary shit. What you do, a mother? What you giving kids free haircuts and giving out turkeys on Thanksgiving, nigga? We do that shit and we ain't got we don't have half of what you got. The fuck is you talking about? Stupid ass. Like he be cooking me, bro. So let's keep it 1,000. You's a hater. Right? You bona fide. You been hating on Bud for a long ass time. I remember all the way back then when you said that you'll crack Bud chin. We know you ain't doing that. Then Bud said he'll go to 47 to fight you. It was absolute crickets. Absolute crickets. And that's another thing. Niggas be bitching up Tank all the time. I seen Conor Ben do it. You let Conor Ben bitch you up, nigga, the drug cheat, the soft ass nigga who just got his ass whooped his last fight. You let that nigga bitch you. He said, bro, I'm gonna reach out to you right now. Let's make the fight happen. You talk about, oh yeah, let's get it. Let's get it. Now Eddie Hearn reach out to you and you ain't even replying to no DMs. You's a sucker ass nigga. I know Bud would never. Bud would never. If Bud said he gonna rumble you, he gonna rumble you. And he will look for you until you cop out. See, so the reason why I think you personally dislike Bud Tank is because he's really a reflection of what you want to be or of what you lack. He is a reflection of all of your insecurities. You hate the fact that he's willing to be great while you're scared to be great. You hate that he's doing legacy defining shit while you simply just chasing money and people clowning you for it. You mad that he getting love and you getting clowned, nigga. That's why you don't like Terence Crawford, to keep it real. And you bringing up niggas' wives being fat and all that shit. Well, guess what, nigga? I ain't even gonna do that. I ain't about to be clapping back for another nigga. That's corny. But nigga, we know your background, we know your past, we knew who raised you and all that. You ain't got no room to be talking about anybody's women in their life. Cause we seen the type person, we seen the lady who raised you and what she was in her life. So you shouldn't even be talking about nobody's women when the woman who raised you had her issues. You feel what I'm saying? So nobody even trying to hear this shit that you be talking about, Tank. Seriously. Like, you say you gonna swing on Bud? You? Swing on Bud? Nigga, you won't even swing on niggas that's in your fucking weight class. You gonna swing on the pound for pound #1 fighter in the world? You won't even swing on Shakur. You won't swing on Keyshawn. You won't swing on Tio. You won't swing on no elite level niggas. You ain't swing on Loma until you waited until he got older. That you tried to jump on him when he was done with boxing. Yeah, he said that. Let me go ahead and bring that back up. He said I'll swing on him for real. Who else is he talking about? I would love for somebody to clarify who he talking about. He said I'll swing on him for real. Let me swing. Let me. It's crazy. Y'all dick riding Bud because he doing things that I'm not. Y'all gonna clown me, but y'all gonna praise him because he fighting the best and I'm fighting a fucking YouTuber, a Disney Channel actor. That's what it is. Because I ducked the rematch. And took more money, and y'all hate me, but y'all love Bud. Crazy. There it go right there. I'll swing on him for real. Swing on who? Why is you throwing subliminals, nigga? That's another thing. You ain't even saying nobody's name directly, and then you go ahead and just delete shit like niggas ain't see it. See, that's how I know something wrong with Tank, because you know that a lot of people follow you, for one. I know for like a lot of people follow you. So you know as soon as you tweet something, niggas screenshotting it. You already know these reporters screenshotting it, fans screenshotting it. What's the point in you deleting it? Why say it? That's what let me know that Tank not really in the right place, like mentally. Just based off of the shit that he say in interviews, him admitting that he need therapy, he got a lot of anger inside him. And I want to get down to why you so angry. What happened to you, Tank? What happened to you when you was young? What got you? Like, I really would love. I kind of want to hear. And I know, like, psychologists, they can't release that type of information publicly. That's, that could get them in some serious trouble. But I would love to see somebody psychoanalyze Tank, bro. Seriously. That dude got real life issues. He said because he light-skinned and he's short. Nigga, I'm light-skinned. I'm not as short as him, but I ain't the tallest motherfucker either. I'm 5'9". That ain't no legit reason. There ain't no legit reason. I'm light-skinned. I don't have these issues. If I tweet some shit, bro, I got shit tweeted from back when I was 17, 18, drawn as a young boy on Twitter. I still ain't delete them Jones. He don't like people calling Crawford the new face of boxing. Well, that's a possibility. That's definitely a possibility. But guess what? You ain't got nobody to blame but yourself, because you had opportunities. You had a whole bunch of opportunities to claim that throne after Floyd Mayweather left. But all you did was avoid top-level dudes. And I'm going to ask this question one more time. He's competed at 30. He's competed at 35. He's competed at 140 pounds. You tell me which division he stood out and made it his business to be the best in the division. What division has he been in where he's proved definitively that he was the best? What weight class from 30 to 40? 3 divisions. Which weight class did he truly show he was the best? Because back when he was champion at 130, Lomachenko was running around, beating niggas' asses, taking niggas' names, taking their O's, making them quit. Where was Tank at? Nowhere to be found. Saying, doing interviews with Mayweather because he was scared to talk and to himself. And Floyd was like, "It's okay, Tank. It's okay. Loma's old, so he got to rush. We not going to rush because we know if we fight Loma right now, he going to fuck you up. So we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Like I said before, Loma's old. Loma's old. Easy work. Easy work. We gonna take our time, and once Loma get old and he's about to retire, then we gonna get him, Tank. We ain't gotta worry about that. Don't worry about the media. We know you pussy, but we not about to let them know that." Man, I don't care about debating nobody, bro. See, the thing is, and no disrespect, that's I fuck with you, but it's like with me, it's like, what is there to debate? What is there to debate? Everything that I'm saying right here is words that came out of Gervonta Davis's mouth and actions that he has took part in his career. I'm gonna ask from 130, 135 to 140. What weight class did he definitively prove that he was the best in a weight class? He didn't prove he was the best in any division he done competed in. Is that something to debate? Because when we see Terence Crawford, somebody that he's openly talking shit about, I've seen Crawford definitively prove that he was the best at 140. I've seen him definitively prove that he was the best at 147. I've seen him do these things. I've seen him win world titles at 135 and go over to people's hometown and defeat them. Ricky Burns, home country. Then when Ricky Burns had a controversial fight with Ray Beltran, he was like, "Oh, I thought Ray Beltran really beat Ricky Burns, so I'm going to give Ray Beltran an opportunity, beat him and move up." Then I seen this dude move up 3 weight divisions because he didn't even acclimate to 54. I seen that man go up 3 weight divisions and fight Canelo Alvarez, who was a fucking champion for 7 consecutive years before he lost to Bud last night. Undisputed champion, 2-time undisputed champion at super middleweight, holding the fort down. He ducked some niggas. Let's not get it wrong, but held the fort down and had the fucking super middleweight division in a headlock. Bud went up 3 divisions and made it look like he was a super middleweight. Made Canelo look like a motherfucking amateur, and Canelo Alvarez got the best resume in boxing today. So I've seen that happen with Terence Crawford. I've never seen Tank do it. Never. And what a lot of these motherfuckers do when they Gervonta Davis fans, they just want to put the blame on everybody else. Oh, but why bro, if Tank is the common factor in all of these fights not being made, who the fuck is there to blame? Oh, this person should have signed with the PBC. Oh, did Jake Paul have to sign with the PBC? Did Ryan Garcia have to sign with the PBC? Miss me with the bullshit. Oh man, they sent Tank a contract. Where they sent Shakur a contract? Where is it at? That motherfucker Shakur was like, "Yo, can y'all show me the email? Can y'all show the public the email y'all sent with the contract in it? How y'all motherfuckers sending contracts without sending offers? How that work? You know how stupid you would look if you sent somebody a contract to fight and y'all didn't even agree on terms? Huh? That's like a landlord sending you a lease to sign, and y'all ain't even agree. Y'all ain't even talk about a fucking rent payment yet. Niggas ain't even put up a security deposit, nothing. Niggas making you sign a lease. How that work? Tank has ducked smoke at every division that he's been in. Whenever we've requested him to step up, he's never done it. Ryan Garcia was a fucking guy who built followers off of social media and didn't beat anybody notable. And even then, Tank was concerned with fighting Ryan, accusing him of being on steroids before they fought. Accused him of being on steroids. Then when he popped dirty for steroids, when he popped positive for Austrian with Devin Haney, Tank's defending him. So when you're going up against him, you could accuse him of being on PEDs. But once he actually tests positive for PEDs with somebody else that you dislike, who did everything he could to fight you, but you ducked him, then what? Then what? You defending Ryan. No, that wasn't the reason why. No, you don't want that to be the reason why. You want to see Devin Haney get out the picture because you hate the fact that fans been pressuring you to fight this nigga and you know where to be found whenever they trying to make a deal happen with you. You only ever talking crazy when you got a fight date. Whenever you don't got a fight date, you go incognito on social media, deactivating your shit, going ghost. You signed this fight with Jake Paul, and all of a sudden you want to start running your mouth. Nigga, cut it the fuck out. Shout out to the boy Yasir Ali. He said thoughts on Canelo saying he has 2 more years of fighting, and do you think he should retire? Him saying that and I did hear him say that he got 2 more years left of fighting, but that just lets you know that Canelo's been thinking about retirement. You know what I mean? I don't think he wants to, and I feel like he feels like personally that he's accomplished a lot in the sport, and he's just trying to get his last little bit of money before he get up out of here. So I'm not, it is what it is. Canelo Alvarez stopped trying to prove that he was great a long time ago, especially when we was requesting the David Benavidez fight. He let it be known that he's trying to get the most money for the least amount of risk possible. So it is what it is. And in terms of do I believe that he should retire, I still think Canelo could beat some guys in boxing today. But it's like he got another fight with Turki Al-Sheikh that's lined up. I don't know exactly what that's going to entail considering the fact that he lost. They might still give him Hamza Shiraz because I don't think Crawford's going to fight him, to be honest with you. So that'll be a good little fight that'll happen. Canelo might possibly beat Hamza. You know what I mean? He might just beat him. But besides all of that, man, do I think he should retire? I mean, if he were to retire right now, I wouldn't be mad. I'll just say that. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be mad at all. He's accomplished a lot. I seen that he was on a decline in that William Skull fight, and I thought, he did look good against Terence Crawford in spots, but for the most part, you know what I mean? He definitely lost a step or two, but that's not to discredit Bud. Bud still had a lot to go up against, even with Canelo being on the decline, and he overcame all the odds. So that's an all-time great fighter right there in my eyes. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, do I think he should retire? I wouldn't be mad if he did. I would support it. If he put out a statement right now, I'm like, yo, I'm done with the sport of boxing. Hold on, yo. Fucking Puerto Ricans, man. But nah, though. What I was saying was, if he put out a statement right now, it was like, yo, I'm retiring, I wouldn't be mad at all. I wouldn't be mad at all because it's not like Canelo has a whole lot left in the tank anyway. He's slowly but surely declining. You know what I mean? And he just suffered the 3rd loss of his career. So it's like, if he probably take this last fight and be like, and get a win and then ride off into the sunset, I wouldn't be mad at Canelo at all. You feel what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? I would support it. I'm going to say that, Yasir. Shout out to the boy Yasir. You think he could be world champion again? He could probably grab a world title because super middleweight ain't the most stacked division. Like, there's some threats here and there, but it's not the most stacked division. So, for instance, let's say Terence Crawford like, yo, I'm done with boxing. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Or, you know what I mean? I'm not fighting that super middleweight no more, so I'm going to relinquish these titles. And, there's a vacant WBC title on the line. You already know Mauricio going to try to get Canelo to fight for the vacant WBC. And they'll probably line him up with somebody that's on the rankings, the number 1, number 2 guy, whatever the case is, and then just have them fight. Or any other sanctioning body. I'm sure the WBO, WBA, the IBF, they'll all be happy to have Canelo fight for their vacant title because they know that's going to come with a nice check. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, he could definitely become world champion again. And them sanctioning bodies will put him in position to do so because, like I said, would you rather get a percentage of Canelo's check or would you rather get a percentage of a Caleb Plant's check or a Edgar Berlanga's check, a Christian and Billy check, a Diego Pacheco check? Ain't none of their checks adding up to Canelo Alvarez at this point. I think that's safe to say. I think a court coffee. So from what I've heard, it was a 3-fight deal that Canelo had with Turkey. Somebody could correct me if I'm wrong, but he's already had 2 fights with Turkey. He had the William Skull fight, and he had the second fight just now with Terence Crawford. So they said that he has another fight in early 2026. I don't know if that's going to be happening. I think Canelo's going to fall back probably to like May, to be honest with you. So I think, based off of what they're saying, this might be his last fight. Asia said, I thought it was 5. Well, I heard it was 3. Let's take a look. Oh, okay. Turkey Al-Sheikh brokered a lucrative 4-fight deal. Okay. The deal shifts many of Canelo's fights to Saudi Arabia and ensures an estimated payout exceeding $100 million for his involvement. So it's a 4-fight deal. Sorry. So we were both wrong. So, I mean, he halfway through the deal now. Yeah, Anonymous. He went 7 years straight. He went 7 years straight being a champion because even when he lost to Bivol, he was still the undisputed super middleweight champion of the world. Why bro fighting in Saudi? Because of the money. Because of the money. There ain't no other reason they'll fight over there besides that. Why? I heard that the incentives are a lot better if you fight in Saudi in comparison to fighting in the U.S. That's what I heard. I heard the payouts are better when you fight in Saudi, and I mean that makes sense because their whole intention is to get more people to come over to Saudi for their big, for their big events and shit like that. But if they, have to compromise with a fighter, come to the U.S. to satisfy them, they just not gonna pay them as much. Unless you Canelo, you probably gonna get paid out the same regardless. But that's what I heard. I think Shakur Stevenson has said that. If you fight in the U.S., you'll get paid less than when you'll fight in Saudi. But Turkey Al-Sheikh's whole objective is to get as many tourists as possible in Riyadh. So, I mean, if you want to bring them tourists out there, you got to make the big events happen over there. It is what it is. Coffee said, I think he's back in February 2026. Canelo, yeah, that's what I heard. But like I said, I think they might push that shit back a little bit. I would be surprised if he came back, in February for some reason. I think he's gonna want to chill a little bit. You said, what do I think about Alakel? I ain't gonna lie. When I was doing the live fight party, I really wasn't paying no fights any type of mind. I was just so excited for Bud and Canelo that I ain't really take the time to really I was watching the fights, but not like attentively. Like I wasn't really like on it, like paying attention to each and every detail. You know what I mean? The fights that I was genuinely interested in watching was Billy and Lester, which I watched that whole thing. That was a phenomenal fight. I wanted to see Callum Walsh and Fernando Vargas Jr. I watched that one. What was the other one? There was another one. Damn, what was the other one? Brandon Adams and Serhii Boychuk. I seen that one. And then of course, Canelo Bud. You know what I mean? But what I did see from Alakel, let me see. I'll tell y'all right now. Because I was getting their names mixed up, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I was getting their names mixed up. There was two Saudi dudes. Yeah, Alakel. Yeah, he fought Travis Crawford. Yeah, like he looked solid. You know what I mean? He was definitely a sharper boxer than Travis. You know what I mean? He was outpointing him, just doing, but just to jump from 6 to 10 rounds, like I wonder why they decided to do that. Because it's not like this dude is beating any credible guys. Like A lot of the dudes this guy's beating in reality have losing records. So why would you take a 7-4 dude and make him do a 10 rounder? Like it just didn't really make sense to me. Like 7-4 dudes not really doing 10 rounders. You know what I mean? And 5-0 guys not really doing 10 rounders. So it's really, and I seen Alakel, he trained with Abel Sanchez. That's a notable coach and shit like that. And to be honest with you, for being a super featherweight and being 5'9", that's pretty impressive. And he got a good reach as well. Tall, rangy type of guy. He looked like he got some good qualities, but it was just I don't really understand what they're doing with him right now. Because I highly doubt they're gonna try to throw him in there with a world champion anytime soon. So it's like, why y'all pushing 10 rounders? I don't know. That was a bit confusing, to be honest with you, but because they're trying to make him get more KOs. That might be the reason. That's actually that was a great comment there. That might be true. If we take these guys with 10, 11 fights and make them do 10 rounders against our guys, it's more likely that he'll drown them. But he didn't even drown Travis. Travis was actually not coming to lay down at all. He came to rumble. You feel me? So, yeah. I don't know, man. I ain't really think too much of dude, to be honest with you. What do I think about Marco Verde? He's sharp. He definitely sharp. He fought the guy that upset Nico Ali Walsh and all that, from what I understand. And he was punching in between the guys' punches. The dude was pretty awkward, to be honest with you. So I feel like every time that dude was gonna fight, to be honest, it's gonna be an ugly fight. That's just what it seems to me. Wait, I'm sorry. He beat Nico Ali Walsh, and then Ali Walsh beat him. But anyways, he got a win over him regardless. So that he was able to expose him or whatever the case is. But Marco Verde was clearly outclassing him, running up them punches on him. You could tell that some of those shots that Verde was hitting him with was knocking him off balance and stuff like that. And Akale really didn't have any answers. He just wasn't on his level from like an IQ standpoint. So I think he was just trying to find one big shot, and Marco Verde kept running him into stuff. I did think that the stoppage was kind of crazy. I thought it was a bit premature, but maybe in the ref's eyes it wasn't competitive, and maybe he was taking too many clean shots, so he wanted to intervene. I didn't like the stoppage at all. You know what I mean? I think they should have let him continue, give it what he had, and if he ended up getting clipped in the process, then that's when you make that decision. But it was like the fourth round. It was a 6 rounder from what I understand. Let that man finish the fight. Let the man finish the fight. That's all I'm saying. So, Marco Verde looks like the goods. You know what I mean? I like what he bringing to the table. You feel what I mean? I'm looking forward to seeing more of him. Looking forward to definitely seeing more of him. Just got to be careful because, he dealing with Eddie Reynoso. You feel me? He dealing with Eddie Reynoso, so you got to watch him. Not saying that he's suspicious of anything. Like I said, he looked like the goods, but I don't know, man. I don't know. You got to be careful with that boy. Can't trust him. They said Steve Blankman Nelson was the wordy one. That was disappointing, though, man. I ain't gonna lie. Like Steven Nelson, I don't know if it was the inactivity, the age, the punishment that he took in the Diego Pacheco fight. Could have been a combination of all three. But I said in the group chat, and y'all can confirm in the group chat, we got Ralph in the building, we got Anonymous in the building. I said that Steve Nelson he looked old in there. And what I meant by that was he was getting hit with clean shots that I feel like in the past he wouldn't have gotten hit with so easily. It seemed like his timing was off defensively. Like he couldn't time the shots that was coming at him. It was like he was like a sitting duck for most of them. And it just looked like his body wasn't cooperating with his mind. You know what I mean? That's just how it looked from my viewpoint. And, when Santana, I think his name was Reiko Santana, when he started letting his hands go, Nelson wasn't responding correctly. And if you listen to the referee, he's like, he was like, show me something. Now, when a referee's telling you that should let you know that they're about to stop the fight. They don't like what's going on. They don't like how you're responding. And Steve Nelson was every time he got hit, he was rocked over here, off balance, falling against the ropes. Like me personally, as a referee, I would have gave Steve Nelson the benefit of the doubt, and I would have gave him a standing 8 count because the ropes did hold him up, so technically he could have took that approach. But when a referee's telling you, you got to show me something, and you don't throw a single punch while this dude is letting off a 10, 12 punch combination, you putting the referee in a bad position where you put him in a position where he has to make a choice. You know what I'm saying? And maybe that standing 8 count wasn't something that was on his mind. He probably felt, very worried for you. And he did whatever he could to maintain your safety. Because Steve Nelson, just like any other fighter, he going to keep fighting. So sometimes the referee or your corner got to save you from yourself. So, shout out to Reiko Santana for the win. Nelson just looked a step off in my eyes. He just looked a step off. I don't know if it was a bad night or he just got caught cold. I don't know what it was, but Steve Nelson definitely looked old to me. You know what I mean? It could have been the inactivity. It could have been him taking damage against Pacheco. Could have been just his age catching up to him. Maybe all of the above. But yeah, man, he gave I didn't agree with the ref, but I see why the ref did what he did. He shouldn't have gave that referee a reason to stop the fight. You know what I mean? You could have tied him up. You could have tried to punch in between punches. You know what I mean? You could have smothered him. There was a lot of things you could have did to really change the referee's mind, but instead you sat there and got bombed on. So, it's unfortunate because I like Steve Nelson. But these things happen. It was a shaky night overall for Bud's team. You feel what I mean? Like Lester Martinez got the draw against Billy, which I thought was justifiable. I think that was a good call. And then you know what I mean? Steve Nelson got stopped. Any thought on Naoya Inoue beating MJ? Yeah, I did. I took the time to see that because I did sleep while it was live. But MJ a tough motherfucker, bro. MJ walked through some shit. Inoue was being Inoue, showcasing some good IQ. I like how he was keeping his range, stepping back, following through with combinations. I seen him land some shots to the body. MJ held up pretty well, man. Solid. You know what I mean? One of very few people that didn't crumble to, Naoya Inoue's accuracy and his volume. You feel what I'm saying? Inoue put on a great display of boxing, completely outboxed MJ, to be honest with you. Just showed him he was on a completely different level. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Inoue does next, man. I want to know if he's going to be trying to move up to 26. Is he going to stick around for the Junto Nakatani fight? That's what I'm willing to see more than anything. I don't really got much respect for MJ, to be honest with you. I don't like the way he carried that Stephen Fulton situation a few years back. But, it is what it is. He got another huge victory under his belt. And I'm happy for him. I like Naoya Inoue. He made me a believer for sure. Because I was a little bit skeptical of Naoya Inoue when he was coming up. But then when I seen the way he performed against Stephen Fulton, I was like, all right. I was like, holy shit. All right, this dude is something serious because I watched Stephen Fulton. I watched Stephen Fulton for years, back when nobody knew who he was. You know what I mean? When he was fighting at the Wind Creek over in Bethlehem, I remember them small PVC cars he was opening up for and shit, and I always thought highly of him once I seen him. So when I seen Naoya Inoue break him down like that, they say he's going to fight Picasso in December. I got to watch Picasso. That's a fire-ass name, by the way. Picasso is a fire-ass name. Yeah, if he can stay busy with Picasso, yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's a good idea. If he ain't take no damage. I seen MJ was trying to impose himself. He was letting his hands go, but anyway, was responsible with his defense. You know what I mean? I seen him time MJ with some shots. I seen him time I seen Inoue time NJ with some shots. Like you see MJ about to load up, and Inoue just beat him to the shot. Boom. It was a good performance. Good performance. I like Inoue. I respect the skill set. Go 787 says I have work tomorrow. I'll catch y'all live later and rewatch. Salute. Salute to the boy. Go 787, man. Salute. Inoue was on a 6-year stoppage streak in world title fights until MJ went the distance with him. Very impressive. Very impressive. I like that. I gotta watch Picasso though. I heard his name, but I haven't really seen him fight at all. His name is David Picasso. Okay. 5'8", 70 reach from Mexico. Okay. Okay, PBC posted something from 31-0, 17 knockouts. Okay, let's take a look. Looks tall. They said, oh, he got the VMC. Wait. He got the Viva Mexico Cabrones trunks on. Hold on. He fucking with them too? Hold on, man. Come on. Don't tell me. This David Picasso dude, who he with? He got the VMC trunks on, man. Okay, he like to plant his feet. He understands range pretty well. He like to fight at close range, but he definitely get hit. Kameda was cracking him just now. He like to stand his ground. He like to stand his ground. He don't really throw that many punches neither. It's a lot of posing. I'm literally seeing 15 seconds literally went by. He didn't throw a single punch. So it doesn't seem like he's that active. Got a solid jab, some good body shots too, but he's there to be hit. It's interesting. Yeah, I just see Inoue look a little bit too fast for him. Anyway, look a little too fast for him, and that accuracy gonna definitely get to him. And plus, he leave his jab out there too long. He don't bring that jab hand back enough quickly. Naoya was too fast and too good of a counter puncher to do that shit against. So I see some flaws. I can see Inoue having his way with him. Pause. It's interesting. Inoue a fast motherfucker, period, bro. That's a fact. But all right, y'all. We spoke about the whole Terence Crawford Canelo situation and why I was so impressed with it. You know what I mean? We spoke about Gervonta Davis hating ass. You know what I mean? His weirdo ways. We're gonna get into some open boxing topics if we haven't already, because a bunch of people asking questions and shit like that. Shout out to the 33 people that's in the building. Y'all go ahead and hit the likes. Y'all go ahead and hit the likes. Said Boost up next. Absolutely. October 11th, he fighting Luis Malima at the Xfinity Live Center. I guess that's what they want to call it now, a.k.a. Wells Fargo, a.k.a. the Wachovia Center. Well, technically not the Wachovia Center because they knocked the Wachovia down and built up a new building. So, AKA the Wells Fargo Center. You feel what I mean? I'm looking forward to seeing that, man. I was just happy that I was able to help, with the sparring that I was able to get him with my boy Deshaun Jones. You feel what I'm saying? Very, very happy that I could help him out at the beginning. Wait, where we at? I guess midway through his camp, right? Because we got like 4 weeks. A training camp is usually 8 weeks. Yeah, I was glad I was able to help, halfway through his camp. He looks sharp. He looks strong, accurate. Reflexes is there. Defense is there. Boots looked pretty impressive from what I've seen. I ain't going to lie to you, but Boots has always looked that sharp, to be honest with you. I just think he's becoming more experienced now and knowing how to work. You know what I mean? So he's becoming more dangerous because he's starting to become, this young vet in the game. You feel me? So yeah, Boots is definitely up next. Devin versus Ryan too. I mean, yeah, I seen Devin and Ryan dapping it up. I don't know exactly what that was about. I don't know, Devin. I don't know if Ryan deserved a handshake, brother. That man tried to ruin your life while being a drug cheat. But to each his own. Some people more forgiving than others, and I guess as a Muslim man, you're supposed to be forgiven. But that was a bit strange. Oscar told Turkey to fire his matchmakers. Did he say that because Canelo lost or what? I thought there was some pretty exciting fights on that card. I thought Serhii Bohachuk and Brandon Adams was a fire matchup. I thought that Christian and Billy Lester Martinez was a fire matchup, and Bud and Canelo turned out to be a fire matchup as well. Might have to side to that boot. Yeah, bro, go check it out. It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be a solid little undercard too with top talent. Poirot is gonna fight Pat Pot. I think that's how you say his name. So he can get in position for an IBF title shot. Hey man, not surprised at all. Leon Poirot see how sweet that motherfucking welterweight division is now, and he like, fuck it, I want some parts. I got some skills that could probably get me a legit world title. So we'll see. I just found it funny that Leon Poirot didn't stick around at 140. You know what I mean? He probably felt like it was a little bit too hot down there, so he moved up. I know he ain't outgrow the weight because that boy little. You feel me? So, man, look at the current world champions that's at 147 right now. We got Barrios, we got Rowley, we got motherfucking what's the dude who won? Was it Crocker? Was it Crocker that won? And then you got Brian Norman. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, this is definitely one of the worst. 147 gotta have like the worst championship lineup out of all the weight classes in boxing right now. Rowley, no disrespect to Rowley. I know I fuck with Rowley. We cool. Rowley, Mario Barrios, Crocker, and fucking Brian Norman. Y'all niggas got Brian Norman looking like a superstar. That's even if he win in November. That shit might be taken off him as quick as he got it. Crocker won by the skin of his teeth. Crocker put Donovan down twice. Okay. But even if Donovan won, like, Donovan, like, 147 looking bad right now, man. Them talented dudes from 140 just need to move up and clear all those guys out. You feel me? I'm telling y'all, Rowley fuck around and be unified champion at welterweight. And that's how you know shit gonna be crazy, because we would have never put on our motherfucking we would have never put down or predicted that Rowley would be unified welterweight champion of the world in his career. I'm telling you, he fight Barrios, he will beat Barrios. Everybody keep thinking I'm playing. That fight is more realistic than people think it is. That's an easy PBC fight to make. Crocker fights a name next. He's losing. Well, that's what Leon Poirot, I guess he's trying to close in on. He's like, man, these motherfuckers are easy work. Let me go ahead and grab a title over here so I can get some more money. It's probably how you see it. That's probably how you see it. Shout out to Bella Faith, by the way, and Teach. What up? I didn't even say what's up to y'all earlier. Bohachuk should. I mean, if he's missing weight, yeah, he should definitely move up. Brandon Adams definitely has the number. That son that I said on the live, you know what I mean? It just looked like he got his number. You feel me? I don't know. I think if they fought 10 times, Brandon get him 10 times. That's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. But if Bohachuk move up to 160, he can get some good fights. Him versus Jesus Ramos will be a good fight. Bohachuk, if he, gets some good wins, him versus Adames, that'd be all right. Not the craziest fight, that'd be all right though. Seems like Adames got to get a fight. He ain't Rumble Sims Humja, from what I understand. So what is we doing? Is Brandon Adam in the mix now? I mean, he should be. He should be. You know what I mean? He is a little bit older, so he got to hurry up and go ahead and get something. Because when I first remember Brandon Adams, he had a motherfucking hairline. Now he bald in a motherfucker. So I mean, that clock ticking. He need to go ahead and get himself an opportunity. You know what I mean? Bella faces. I wonder what if Bud retires after this. What's left for him? It sounded like, based off of how the way he was talking, that it seemed like he still want to fight, man. Me personally, if Bud were to retire, I'd be happy with that because, man, what he's accomplished, that's absolutely phenomenal. If he were to ride off in the sunset on that note, that'd be great, man. That would have been great, and we will always look at him as an all-time great for that. And I feel like that was a mistake that Roy Jones had made, just sticking around too long. Now, I'm not saying that's what happened with Bud, but, with Roy, he stuck around too long and kind of got some stains on his jacket in terms of like his career and how the way it panned out at the end. So if Bud were to walk away on top, pause, that'd be phenomenal, sensational. However, it sounds like he want to go down to 160. Sound like he want to go down to 160 and get some smoke down there. Now, if he were to fight like Carlos Adames or something, that'd be a solid one. That'd be a solid fight. They got history. They done sparred before. They got some viral sparring footage that's out here for us to view. You know what I mean? If they were to fight each other, that'd be a good fight. That'd be a good fight that he's definitely capable of winning. Or his Landy Lara fight, that'd be a good fight too. You know what I mean? That'd be a good fight. Get some good title fights right there. That he could probably beat Landy too. You feel me? That'd be a really good fight. But I think Bud will outwork Landy, especially at this age. Yeah, imagine if he won a belt at 160 and he become a 6th division world champion. Now you tied up with Oscar De La Hoya for, titles in weight divisions. Then the only motherfucker that's above you is Manny Pacquiao. That's impressive. And Amanda Serrano, impressive. Said pisses me off. Bud didn't get the spotlight until he was 35 in boxing. Yeah, it's unfortunate. But the good thing about it is, even though he didn't have the spotlight, he still accomplished some great things. So when he finally got the spotlight, his accolades were there to, be shined upon as well. I definitely think Bud could have been a bigger star, but, Top Rank had a situation with him. I guess they felt like he wasn't very cooperative from a promotional standpoint. Like he wasn't really too fond of interviews. I think they wanted him to act a certain way, and he didn't want to. So Bud was pretty stubborn with, certain things. And I think as a result, they found him to be like somebody like a headache, like somebody that's hard to work with. And as a result, they really ain't investing him too much. Bob fucked up a lot of opportunities for Bud. I'm surprised Bud stuck around as long as he did. I would have left as soon as I noticed that Bob promised me a Manny Pacquiao fight, and then the fight never comes about. I would have left after that situation. I was surprised that he re-signed after the fact, but I think it was a lot of empty promises and Bud just being loyal. I think it fucked him over. But you know what I mean? Even though he went through those things, and yeah, he might have not got the spotlight till he was 35. He made the most of it, man. He made the most of it, and he's making up for lost time. This Canelo Alvarez win, he made up for lost times, man. Seriously. because there's plenty of fighters who have the ability to be generational talents and never given the opportunity. Bud is a generational talent, and might have been a little later than what he would have liked, but he was able to showcase it and prove to the world that he an all time great, the greatest of this era. And we're amongst some special fighters in this era, so to be a top of all of them says a lot. Usyk, phenomenal generational type talent. Naoya Inoue, generational type talent. You know what I mean? We got other guys doing phenomenal things on the path, like Ben Rodriguez, phenomenal talent. Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson. It's a lot of great talent, yo. A lot of great talent. So to be above all of those guys, it says how special you are in reality. I mean, teach Arizlandi Lara, the oldest champion in world in the boxing game right now. He's the oldest current world champion in boxing right now, from what I understand. So, yeah, I wasn't expecting to really look too impressive. I mean, I think his best days are behind him, but the fact that he's able to have a world title right now speaks a lot on Arizlandi Lara, man. Who's the next global star after Canelo and Tank? There's a lot of them that have potential. Abdullah Mason, I think he has what it takes. Zaquin Moses, Darrell Val Saint. You know what I mean? We gotta see how his career unfolds. You know what I mean? Jerron Ennis is still there. If he racks some good wins up at 54 or become undisputed at 154, then he could possibly be the next big star. Shakur gets some good wins. I mean, it's really obtainable. Kermel, yeah, he has potential too. You think 175 is too much for Bud? Yeah, and Bud even said that himself. He said he ain't going to 75. I ain't mad at him. Everybody got their limits. 168 was a hell of a jump in itself. An additional 7 pounds. Nah. Southwest Dice in the building. Hold on. We got another one. Hold on. Anonymous said, I think we should be looking at who's next, though. Bud and Usyk most likely leaving the sport soon. Yeah. No, a lot of the people that we've been watching all these years, they walking away. Canelo about to be out. Bud about to be out. Usyk about to be out. The new generation is definitely on the way, for sure. Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's a lot of people that could take over and become the face. Like I said, and Tank talking about he walking away, right? So, we got guys like Jerron Ennis. He has potential to be the next big star in boxing. You let Eddie Hearn tell it. He believes 1,000% that Boo's going to become the next big star. Then you're talking about, like I said, Abdullah Mason. I think he got a lot. He has a lot of the things necessary to be a big star in boxing. The skills, you know what I mean? The look, all of that. Benavidez, shit, if Benavidez could get some fucking opportunities, yeah, he could do that too. He could be the next Mexican, the next big Mexican star. You feel me? What do you think Bud was fight night? I don't understand that, Teach. What do I think Bud was fight night? Probably like the mid 70s, high 70s, probably like 178. I don't really think he was that heavy, to be honest. Southwest Dice says salute. Bud might be coming for Boost. How else? 4-time undisputed. Shit, man. I don't think he going for Boost because when they asked him, he said nope. And he said he not going down to 154. So it seemed like he more intrigued about 160. So we'll see. But I think we need to leave the whole Boots and Bud situation alone. I don't ever see that happening. I don't know how many times motherfuckers gotta say no for people to believe them, but yeah, they not with that. So you know what I mean? But guy said, I don't want to see bro again. He talking about Tank. That's crazy. A lot of people, bro, agent, a lot of people that was Tank fans don't want to deal with him no more, bro. Tank stock took a plunge, man, after that Lamont Roach fight. Because before the Lamont Roach fight, we had our criticisms, but people were still holding on to the fact that he might fight somebody. That was what was keeping people around. But then, when he did that, when he had that performance against Lamont, that hurt him. Then when he didn't take the rematch, that hurt him. Then when he go and fight Jake Paul, they even hurt him more because people are like, yeah, like, we understand you get into your money, but you can make that money fighting the best guys. Like, you can't tell me Tank wouldn't make a bag against Shakur. You can't tell me that he wouldn't make a bag fighting T.O. or Devin Haney. Like, you can't tell me he wouldn't make those, like, he couldn't make money with them. You was willing to make a bag with Ryan. You wasn't talking about fighting Jake Paul at the time. Jake Paul was active at the time. You fought Ryan and you made a crazy bag. Nah, T, some light heavyweights, they coming in 200. Very close, for sure. I know light heavyweights, and they be walking around easy 200s. Would love for Boots and Bud to fight at 163, 165 cash weight, but it might be over for that. I mean, Boots ain't even get the 154 yet. I don't see that happening at a cash weight at all. Boots is not fighting Bud. No, Bella, Bud is not fighting Boots because it's all up to Bud to make the fight happen. I highly doubt Boots will turn it down, especially at 154. If that was presented to him after this fight with Lima, but Bud is the one saying no, not Boots. There ain't nothing wrong with that. I don't. Bud just went up to 68 and did some historical shit. But Bud will clearly be the A side, so if the fight were to happen, it would have to be because Bud wants to fight. Thoughts on Keyshawn Davis and will he fight again? I'm sure Keyshawn Davis will fight again, but he's just on people's shit list right now. You know what I mean? I'm not really too fond of Keyshawn. That whole situation with Edwin De Los Santos rubbed me the wrong way, from him missing weight to acting a fool, purposely missing weight, in my opinion. Purposely missing weight, in my opinion. Making a, pretty much letting, the legends in VA down, like Michael Vick and Allen Iverson, who came out to see him in the crowd acting a motherfucking fool, like he ain't got nobody to apologize to. Then he gonna make a fool of himself after his brother get his ass whooped by Naoya Inoue. Yeah, man. That whole situation just threw me off. I'm not fond of Keyshawn whatsoever. I don't like how the way he be moving. And I feel like that situation gonna be hard to bounce back from. Like, I know, especially if he keep winning, eventually people will forget about it. But I think that situation is gonna leave a stain on his jacket for sure. Was he in a wheelchair at the fight? I don't know. Was he? Yeah, seriously, you think he has mental issues? He clearly does. He admitted being checked into a mental institution before because of his previous mental health issues. So Keyshawn he definitely got some mental health issues. If you ever get 302'd or institutionalized by like a mental asylum or whatever they want to call it, you got some shit going on. To be checked into a mental health facility, that's because there's some crazy motherfuckers out here that ain't never been 302. If you that out of control, if you that out of whack where people that you need to be hospitalized for your mental health issues, something's wrong. Something's wrong. But I peeped that Keyshawn. I ain't see Keyshawn do any interviews, so he probably purposely, you know, avoiding the media for some reason. This is the thing, Bella. We don't even know. Bud, we don't even know if Bud's still in his prime. We don't even know because this man hasn't even had like a close fight. He always seems to figure things out. He does always one up over his opponent. So it's kind of like with Floyd too. Like, when did Floyd start to show like he was on the decline? Because to be honest with you, he looked sharp throughout his entire career. We never really see many moments with Floyd where it was like, oh man, he lost a step. Oh man, his defense ain't the same. Like he always looked sharp. So it's really hard to tell if he's in his prime. But you felt like Boots ain't ready. It is what it is. That's an opinion more than anything, to be honest. But I don't think I highly doubt. Uh, I highly doubt Boots would ever come out and say that I'm not ready. I think that he feels like he is ready. He's been feeling like he's been ready for a few years, to be honest. But it is what it is, man. Like I said, I don't really see them fighting. I don't really care to talk about that whole situation. Anonymous says, shouldn't be any more arrow slander anymore. No shame in losing to the best of this era. Respect to Spence. Yeah, facts. And Spence definitely don't got no shame in losing to Bud because he was rooting for Bud. He said, FYI, I'm rooting for Bud. So there ain't no hate in that man's heart. You feel what I mean? And I think he recognized that Bud is the one. So that's why he's supporting him. So salute to Spence, man. I love his humbleness. I'm looking forward to seeing what he do, man. If he fight Jamel, man, that's going to be really stressful if you're an Errol Spence fan. Southwest Dice said they're so advanced, everyone else looks underneath them. Well, it's not look. It don't look like they're underneath them. They are underneath them. You fighting these, high level guys, and you making the fights look relatively easy. That just speaks volumes to how great you are. I mean, I love Errol Spence, man. Sad that things happened to him, how they happened to him, with the car accident and like the injuries and watching him take that damage against Bud, man, that was heartbreaking, man. I hope, somehow, some way, Errol Spence could return to boxing and, even if he's 80% of who he was, that'd be a blessing. I would love to see that. But being realistic, I think the best moments from Earl are behind us. Raul said this shit is crazy though. The two biggest fights of Bud career, he made that shit look easy. He did. But that just goes to show why he's the best fighter in the world right now. And I got a lot of respect for Usyk, but it's like this right here, this ain't being topped by Usyk, bro. I'm sorry. Does a healthy Arrow beat Nello? I don't know, because we got to see how the way, because just because Bud acclimated to the division well and then looked sluggish and looked to be like that don't mean that'll happen with Errol Spence. We don't know how Errol Spence will acclimate to 68. He's a big dude, so he probably would have put on the weight well, but we don't know how his conditioning would have been. Like Bud passed the test, but we don't know if Errol will. And plus, I feel like Earl takes more chances than Bud, so that it gave Canelo more opportunities to hit Spence. So I don't know. Hold on, y'all. I swear to God, Puerto Ricans will be the only niggas that'll put a $4,000 car system. They'll put a $4,000 car system in a $2,000 car. That shit is crazy. Yeah, Bud rose to the occasion. That's a true champion. But let me see. I don't know if healthy Earl beats Nello though. I don't know that. That'd have been a war though. I know that for sure. Bella said, "Yo, Mazuma, do you know the two judges had to draw up into the championship rounds?" Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. You feel what I mean? When I seen that, when I heard that 7-5 scorecard, I'm like, bro, y'all motherfuckers love Canelo, bro. And that's what I was trying to tell y'all, man. I'm like, yo, these judges, they love Canelo, bro. Like, Floyd couldn't even get a unanimous decision against him. You know, Floyd got a majority decision because one of them ruled it a fucking draw. Yeah, I mean, it's like, and then that first Triple G fight, it was a draw when it shouldn't have been. You know what I mean? Aries Landy Lara, he gets the decision against. It's just Canelo always gets the benefit of the doubt from these judges, bro. I don't know what it is. I had a 9-3. Like, y'all had it 8-4. I seen 8-4 was a popular one. I might have to go back and score it again. But I had a 9-3, bro. I had a 9-3. I had a 117, 111. Because Canelo would like, in like the rounds I was giving him, like he was edging. Like, you had a 10-2. Shit. That's a body for real. Jesus Christ, bro. I cannot stand these niggas, bro. Swear to God. You had a 12-0 per goddamn. These niggas losers in real life, bro. But anyways, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. I appreciate everybody that came through and showed love. Y'all could go ahead and hit the like button on the way out. That'd be very much appreciated. We on the road to 4K, well into the 3,100 mark. About to hit that 3,200 mark in due time. Shout out to the nation and the mob for making this possible. Until then, this is Marcus Rosa, aka Mazuma TV. We're gonna be back at y'all with another live 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time tomorrow night. Be on the lookout for that one. Until then, I hope y'all have a blessed, beautiful night. I'm up out of here, man. Peace.